Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are... There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom, spaghetti. Hey guys, how's it going? I've had that so long. I've had that request so many times. You're welcome. Everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. This is an E2 update video. That last thing I showed you was my referral code. Please use that whenever buying tiles. It really does help support the channel. And Patreon down below. So, getting into it, that was Eminem for some of you kids that don't know. The tiles that the tiles that the devs are holding, will we ever be able to get those? So, and also, are those specific tiles chosen yet? Answer. The devs might use those for giveaways, but mostly they're just using them for their own mini games that they're designing. They haven't chosen those tiles yet, though. It's going to happen when a certain amount of tiles are bought. That's when they'll decide where those tiles are going to remain locked, where they're going to remain locked up. That being said, as soon as there are no more tiles available, the people with a lot of tiles will have a lot of power. Because people with few or no tiles will be forced to rent from someone else, if they want to build something long or big, again, you should be able to build upwards and downwards with no issue. Air rights, I think, are something that will just be given to you when you buy that property. For those of you that don't know, air rights are something that you have on your property up to a certain point. But in some areas, like cities, that they can force you to buy the airspace above the property that you own. In most areas in the U.S., it's around like $60 per square foot, but it's several $100s a square foot in Manhattan, for example. This game most likely won't have anything like that, but we could see agreements of people who have aircraft wanting to fly over spaces where people own those tiles. You know, let's say if someone wants to build a giant water park, water slide, roller coaster, that would be amazing in VR. That would be that would be, for crying out loud, that'd be so heckin' cool. But again, if you have an aircraft carrier and you're trying to transport all of these, whether it's gold, materials, resources from one place to another for someone else, you're probably going to have a agreement with the owner of that tile, just so you can fly over that land. Moving on. The other type of person who has an advantage will be kids staying home from school, unemployed people, retired people, and basically anyone who has a little extra free time. With millions of properties and billions of tiles, and a heat map to tell you where all those tiles are bought, it's basically going to be a grab bag for those who own tiles that haven't been mined yet. Someone was asking me for the mine rate of resources, and I'm not 100% sure, every day, every certain amount of hours, but it would make sense that you can mine something, let's say at 10 a.m., and then, example, if you mine it at that time, a full resource might not appear again until 12 hours later, until 10 p.m., but there will probably be a way to mine something 6 hours later, and this way you just get half a resource. So instead, let's say you have 49 and a half resources you need 50 to build it. Oh, I don't have to wait a full 12 hours. I could just go on someone else's land or my own land. That's half mined and get that. So just advice on that. I've had a question in the past about people not caring about ad revenue and they just want to build stuff and don't want anyone else mining on their property. Well, I have some good news. The developers have said that there will probably be an option to hide your property at some point. Could be beneficial just in civilian life if you don't want people mining on your place. Again, if you don't care about ad revenue and you just want your stuff, okay, that's fine. That's certainly a way to play. There's no wrong way to play. But this could also help in the warring world as well. If you know somebody that says like, oh, no, my property's hidden, it makes it look like it's not bought. Yeah, you could totally hide there in the warring world. Like, that's kind of like a invisibility cloak type of thing. If you have something where there's property there, but it looks like nothing's there just because that person has that hidden ability on, that'd be really, really, really useful. Next question. You have said recently that the devs don't have a plan to have the option for a secondary owner for your account in the case of your untimely demise. It's a great line. Does that mean that they get your properties when you die? Okay, this is a good question. I'm going to give you an answer that the devs might not like. Just going to go out on a limb here, because the devs have said in the past, don't share your account details with anyone. If you have a loved one that you want to give your stuff to, heck what the devs say. Heck them. If you're building something with your kid and you want to pass that on to your kid as you're getting older, ignore what the devs say, where they say don't share your account details with anyone. Now, I'm going to hypothesize here for a minute and say that the developers have said that in the past just to try to cut down on scammers. We've had some issues with people trying to sell their accounts in the secondary markets. They say something along the lines of, I'll sell you my whole account at a huge discount. I will give you my logins. Just pay me X amount of money via PayPal, and it's yours. And those people are few and far between, but they are out there. So just don't fall scam to that. Getting back to the tiles and passing them on to loved ones. I said before that people with a lot of tiles will have advantages in the game, like I just said earlier in the video, but here's where nepotism can finally be advantage of ours. Like us, like not the 1%, not the original, like just ours. We are here first. When the last tile has been bought and there are no more available, we will be like those season ticket holders for sports teams, for like the Jets, Islanders, whatever. Your tiles cannot be bought unless you decide to list the property. No one can bully you around with that money and say like, nope, I'm gonna buy it. It's mine now because, and I'm paying your back taxes on it. That's not gonna happen. You can pass this on to your kids, pass the revenue on to your kids, and that used to be a big thing in this country, in the U.S. anyway. Father and son used to have big dreams, going into business together. Yes, we love Domino's, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, but some of my personal best memories happen to be at those mom and pop shops, those diners, Mexican restaurants, family-owned pizzerias. People will go to your place over those corporations for the atmosphere. I want to go to a diner where people work there. They speak in old school diner talk. Give me Adam and Eve on a bagel and Wreck-'em. That's just diner talk for 2 eggs scrambled. The Wreck-'em is the scrambled part. Everyone comment down below if you've ever been to a diner like that before. Moving on. Someone on Facebook pointed out that the Hummer on the photo Shane released on Twitter the other day, the one I showed you guys, said Earth 2 on it. When it was pointed out, someone else said they wouldn't mind being chased by dinosaurs in that car. That's just a reference to Jurassic Park. Something I think would be really cool if someone could recreate that. I think it would just be a really fun minigame to do. Make it really hard and give rewards to people who beat it. Kind of like Mario Maker. And that's another reason why I love this platform. Those Mario Maker videos have hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of views. We can take video footage of people, and it could be a moment, could be a moment that you could encapsulate forever, but videos of people doing really hard stuff, put them on YouTube, bam, more revenue, more money for ours truly. Speaking of money and tiles, we do have that button that will come out soon that will allow me to do giveaways for a penny again. But speaking of which, if you guys don't mind just paying the 40 cents or whatever have you, message me so you can get your almost free tiles in Chavez Topia, Andrew Leonardi, Smooches, Philip Lambert, and Sandra Duncan. You guys are the winners of the last 4 videos. Moving on. The reason I did want to bring money up is that from what I've noticed is that the upper echelon of buying and selling happen to just really go within my Patreon members that you see up there. What I mean by that is I have dozens of people messaging me every day, and some of them I do broker deals for, saying like, oh, buy this property for this amount. So I don't get anything for it. I don't get a commission on it. I just say like, okay, well, just try to broker a deal just because that's what I do. It's fun. And they all ask if they should buy a certain tile. Like when they're going through the process, should I buy this? Can I get this over here? Can you introduce me to Aria Realty? Can I get one from you at a discount? What will my ROI be on this if I spend $100? Just all of that, etc. Whereas if I'm brokering a deal for like a Patreon member, they'll be like, all right, money sent. Great. That's beautiful. I love that. And the reason why I want to do that, again, and not charge any money for it is just because, well, one, I haven't done any like huge like $10,000 deals with people. But also just because I want to be a part of it. Like I remember that part in Rocky where like he's like not really fighting anymore, and then it was in Rocky 2, and Mickey says, "What do you want to be? You're a legend around here. What do you want to be? Sitting around here carrying spit." And then Rocky says, "I gotta be around it, Nick." So like it's just something that I want to be around. I want to be around just everything about this. I'm so like in love with this game. It's so much fun already. So really smooth transaction between my Patreon members, whether it be from Pokemon cards or property owners. They all just happen to be from Patreon. So shout out to you guys for that. Thank you. We know that we will get teleporters on our land if we buy. This is a new question. If we buy 1 tile or 100. But what if we buy 100 tiles and the tiles are scattered? Will we still have 1 teleporter or 100? So most likely what will happen in that case is that each cluster of tiles will just have its own teleporter, probably its own mini teleporter. I don't know how big they are going to be normally, but as you can see from those tiles, you can fit several cars on those tiles, dozens of people. Teleporter really doesn't have to be that big. It could go the Pokemon Diamond remakes and have everyone be little chibis. I don't think that'll happen, but it's just something they could do. It's probably something that you could do, like for an avatar, if you wanted. Oh, hey, it's a chibi Chavez. Chavez chibi. Somebody comment down below if you would want to see that. It'd be great. A little chibi Chavez with all the mullet hair. But it just wouldn't... Moving on, it would happen in that case because it just wouldn't make much sense to have a teleporter just for one of those tiles, when then someone else can build between that tile and someone else on that same property, and then you just can't walk around to get it. So it wouldn't make much sense if you just had one teleporter for all those tiles. Each one would probably have its own. Here we go. Next question. Will we be able to sell our properties outside of E2 ever? Most likely not. It's not like Pokemon with eBay and heritage auctions and hammer auctions where you have, that entire secondary market. The E2 devs were so insanely smart about not having properties sold on that secondary market. They just said, like, nope, got to do it in here. Can you do that if you want? Sure, that risk all goes to you. But, if you have people, like me, Nameless, Ari Realty, just people that are really big in the community and, we do a big deal together. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Although, for me, I just rather put it in the game. And I know, the person who, let's say if I pay you, $1,000 for a property, you're only going to get $950 out of that because it takes out 5%. That's something that's going to be up to you. I think it should be up to the seller. For me, I would rather, because it doesn't matter to you if you're buying property from me. It doesn't matter. You're spending $1,000 via PayPal or $1,000 via the game. I would rather you spend that via the game so that we can help support the actual game, the developers, and say like, oh, look, the biggest deal. Now for clout, for everyone saying like, oh, well, I want to say I've done it in crypto, I've done it in Bitcoin, and these NFTs. Yeah, you could probably do that. Again, I don't think that's something that would be supported by the developers. You have to try to find a way to work around that if you want. Anyway, guys, that is it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Class dismissed. Goodbye, guys. Meow, meow, meow. Comment down below. Meow, 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 meow.